Hey guys, Mecha-san here. Doing a Mojo Plays reaction, a video that caught my eye, top 10 here. Top 10, or just 10, hyped games that failed to deliver. This got me interest because of the two games on the thumbnail, which I'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, there was a number of games that failed to deliver on the hype, especially in the early to mid early 2000, the teen stuff like that here. The PS3, X360 to PS4 and X1X era. And these days, it's like with the live service stuff here, it's like games that are hyped, that the producers and studios hype as hell, hype it up, but we know they're gonna fail. Like obviously, the new poster child for that is the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now say more. And of course, we start with an obvious choice. At least we opened the video. Duke Nukem Forever. Ever played it?
Duke, was it any good?
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we're taking a look at 10 games that built up hype just to deflate us. Consider these a lesson in not letting marketing sway you so easily. And you have to...
Yeah, okay. But seriously, no one was buying the Suicide Squad marketing at all. It's like there should be a list of games that the studios hyped, and we knew were gonna fail.
To grab those because they may never come again.
Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to Mojo Plays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Evolve. Warning number 1, when spotting an underwhelming product, pre-orders are put up before anything is ever shown.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happened with Evolve when it was first announced. Publisher 2K put out ads for the game before it was ever fully revealed, before anyone
This is one of the
what this was. Surely this push for
early asymmetrical
road, right? Well,
PvP games
that gave it positive reviews at launch. Although what players found was a game that quickly got stale after a couple of hours. Those who
the concept was cool, but
even more flaws in the game.
When we saw the gameplay on only 3 monsters, I think they added
where the monster had to sweat and make miraculous plays to win the game.
Yeah, the whole concept was like, okay, the monster obviously it started weak here, but as it killed local creatures, gained strength and stuff like that. It got stronger because it eventually put up stand up to the hunters. But the hunters go to be crafty here. Like, I remember they talked about how, okay, if you got a hunter that has like that can fire like a tracking device here, you can actually tag one of the local wildlife here, and if the other player monster eats that monster, eats that tag creature here, then the tag would work in his digestive system, so they can track him down. But no one ever did that. I don't hear anything. And Evolve, I don't know. It came and went. It just came and went.
It felt more like a sigh of relief. Even a push to free-to-play didn't save Evolve, and since then, developer Studios has struggled regaining trust and interest from players.
Yeah, it like went free to play after less than a year, like less than 6 months, something like that. Jeez.
Dead Island. In the history of video game trailers, Dead Island frequently comes up as one of the best. It paints a tragic story about a family going on vacation days before a zombie outbreak occurs. Yeah, and the game was also nothing about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's something. I know that in the game here, you can actually go to that room where the parents were attacked or something like that here in that hotel room. Were there ever any zombie kids? I mean, you had that their daughter became the family. Their daughter became a zombie. But were there ever any zombie kids in the actual game?
We got from Dead
that you can
Island
kill?
was not a heartbreaking
Nah,
narrative-driven
I don't know. I don't
action
think
game,
so.
but a mindless series of fetch quests with RPG and crafting mechanics. Oh, Todd left his six-pack at his hut. Can you go grab that? Stephanie left her hair curler at the lighthouse. Think you can swipe that before the zombies get you?
And wasn't there like massive controversy with the collector's edition? I'm pretty sure there was.
Honestly, we're surprised this didn't cause developer Techland or publisher Deep Silver to close down. Had it been released in today's age, it most likely would have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, these days.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
You guys are making a girl miss solitary. Still, sure is nice to be out of Arkham.
We're not quite sure who was hyped for this game, but with the amount of marketing Warner Bros. Interactive was pushing with new trailers and behind-the-scenes videos, there was enough hype to get this on our list. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League does have bright spots here and there, but most of the time, prepare for absolute tediousness.
Give me one reason why we should go out into that shit show.
Yeah, okay, I have seen some clips of this. Boomerang peed on the Flash. It's like, wow, he got a big one. Ugh. Obviously, King Shark. King Shark's getting a lot of attention here. I think it started with the Harley Quinn series, King Shark, and then like the Suicide Squad, James Gunn movie, like, and num. Oh, and then this King Shark, kind of a nerd here. Like, I liked how he that clip where he pretty much tell try to lecture Wonder Woman or something like that. It's like when she showed the shield, when her new shield with kryptonite, should be in a freaking sword. He's right. You know, it should be in a sword. Look at the devastation happening up here. And I know, but I also saw the clip where Harley gives Batman a lecture before, like, on a bench. What? Man, oh god. Yeah, I'll take. This is supposed to be the same Harley from Arkham, the Arkham games. Die. Terrible writing. You screwed the character. I'll take the Harley from the Harley Quinn show. Thank you very much.
The mission structure is abysmal in how it is copy-pasted for the entire campaign. The UI looks like an Excel spreadsheet vomited on our screens.
I wouldn't say that, but it's certainly like no real imagination, no real creativity, no nothing was put into this here. It's like they took some old school preset design, it's just that they could just voila.
And the way the Justice League goes out is severely underwhelming. At this point, we have to wonder if the effort in making Suicide Squad a thing in pop culture today is even worth the effort anymore.
We are all losers.
The Shark's right.
Mighty number.
Yeah, okay. Again, James Gunn Suicide Squad worked from what I hear. I mean, I didn't see it, some clips, but and I know from that we got the Peacemaker show, which I hear is good with John Cena. I don't know. But yeah, that game. The whole thing where, yeah, you killed Brainiac in that one, but this was, there's 13 other Brainiacs! Kevin Conroy's last performance, and this is how you treat him. Like, supposedly he has another performance, but whatever.
Number 9.
Hey,
And, oh
look at
boy.
the screen. Let me ask you a question. Do you like
like awesome things that are awesome.
Following a mass exodus
No
of
comment on this
developers
game.
from Japanese studios like Konami and Capcom,
Really, no comment about this game. But yes, I have heard the hype. I was kind of drawn into the hype here. I didn't put money in it, but I was actually looking forward to this game here. Maybe I still kind of am to see if what it's like. Is that bad? But oh boy.
many were eager to see what was next for these creators. Koji Igarashi left Konami to make Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Shinji Mikami left Capcom to start up Platinum Games with...
Yeah, that's the Bayonetta copy I got, which I hear had. I mean, I people say there was major issues, but again, I played it.
former Capcom cohort Hideki Kamiya before leaving to go start Tango Gameworks.
One day.
And what did famed Mega Man designer Kaiji Inafune leave Capcom to go do?
Yeah. Apparently they did remake the original Mega Man for the PSP. Never got it. And they are bringing PSP titles to, PlayStation Store. I buy it. I'd buy that. This,
Mighty Number 9.
I'll try it out.
Stellar when we got early looks at concept art.
Yeah.
We did get a Mega Man successor in the end, but it was nothing like we wanted. Explosions that looked like pepperoni pizzas, voice acting almost worse than Mega Man 8.
Ooh.
We at Cherryline are doing all we can to help fix the situation.
In a series of marketing incidents that insulted those who backed the game, caused it to become one of the biggest blunders of 2016.
Eeh. Okay, the first two, maybe I just have a high tolerance. I mean, I've seen a lot of bad, a lot of corny, a lot of like, oh my god. I mean, heck, just yesterday, I saw like VR, like fully fun episode of VR Troopers here on someone had on YouTube there. Just checked it out. It's like, oh god, this is edited together like terribly. This is how the show was. But I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm looking at the explosions. I'm looking at the voice acting, and I'm hearing the voice acting, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, I've heard worse. But obviously, I think the biggest thing is people expected a lot better for how much money this game have.
It even caused some to discuss whether spiritual successors were ever going to be a good idea. That's how bad this game was. But hey.
Like in general, because yeah, like Callisto Protocol is supposed to be a spiritual successor to Dead Space, and wasn't bad, but certainly wasn't worthy. It was lackluster. I gotta play it though.
Even if it's not
I do have that game, by the way.
it's better than nothing. At least that's my opinion.
Duke Nukem.
Even if it's not perfect, it's better than nothing. That's terrible. And here we go.
Nukem Forever.
He's so cool.
Yeah, I thought he'd be taller.
It's hard to believe anyone would be excited about Duke Nukem Forever, given it spent a decade and a half in development hell.
Yeah, and I heard that only 3 enemies at once. Okay, I've never played a Duke Nukem game. I heard about this guy, of course. He's not famous here. It's in the same way I've heard about Serious Sam, but that's about it.
We were glad to see the king return to his throne, but Forever was not what we had in mind for him.
And of course, it's iconic time to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. That's all I know.
Gunplay felt archaic, the boss fights were boring, the jokes weren't funny,
Power on. Now it's time to kick some ass.
and the controls made Duke feel clunky to move around.
Power on. Now time to go kick some ass. That was a joke.
In other words, it learned nothing from Duke Nukem 3D and decided to just follow the trends. Yes, Gearbox, because everyone wanted Duke to man a turret or play with an RC truck. That's exactly what we wanted in a Duke Nukem game.
Sorry, Duke. Looks like they're shutting us down for the night.
Aliens Colonial Marines.
I'm feeling good, Captain.
Yeah, I remember this one. I like it. The fix. A fan, and like a gamer like in the PC found the problem with the dumb AI here, where apparently they didn't do no one did like a check, and then the thing was like there was someone, I don't know, fat fingered or did fat finger the keyboard, and so did, and when they were coding, and the one letter, one number, or whatever, that's what caused the aliens, the xenomorphs, to just be so fucking stupid. But once you fixed it, it's like the game. Well, okay, still bad, but still bad from what I hear, but not the worst thing ever.
But I'm worried about 2-3.
That's good.
Did they ever like find that fix and try to took what this guy saw, like, and try to fix it in a patch for people who buy the game on like the consoles?
You in to catch up with Rhino 2-1.
But damn, this was what, 360? I think it was 360, like 360 PS3 era, and those graphics, ugh. Like, what the hell?
Software, the company has never fully recovered from
This
this train wreck of a game.
Yeah, this came out after like Gears of War 3, right? And Halo 3 and a Mass Effect something.
Many were hyped because this was the studio behind Borderlands 2, making a game based
Borderlands
on
2!
Alien. A reasonable excuse to get excited, to be fair, but when the game came out,
And apparently they also like
Major
retcon
oof.
something.
we never
Retcon a
thought
canon.
it was possible to turn the xenomorphs into the least scariest thing ever made. It wasn't uncommon for one of them to glitch into the floor or other
Oh my god. Hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my rag-on gal, oh my fucking god.
objects, or even just run around in circles and run away from fights.
This is
And
sad.
most of this was simply because the code had one typo.
Yeah,
Fixing this
yeah.
typo would make the xenomorphs behave as intended, but even then, the gunplay is garbage, the story is boring, and the visuals made it look like so many other games that were on the market at the time. Those games were better than this. They came out better.
Is that a xenomorph zombie? I mean, God, well, good thing Alien Isolation like renewed our faith and made the xenomorph scary. Which you still gotta play that game, by the way.
The day before,
We've saved people from the outside before, but we practically pulled you back from the brink of death.
we're not quite sure how developer Fantastic tricked so many people into thinking it was delivering a promising experience. An online
Honestly,
extraction shooter with zombies?
there was-
How many of those games do we have?
Yeah.
Like,
Also, what hype? I mean, I barely... I keep up with the game news people here. I mean, I follow the usual peoples, of course, on YouTube and such. I hear... But the day before, I never heard about these guys until they released, and everyone said, yeah, this thing, everyone pretty much confirmed, it's a piece of shit. It's a scam, that kind of shit.
700,000?
Hey, Joe, you want to play
Play another goddamn zombie game!
Regardless,
I remember that episode, that review. Well, oh boy. It's too bad they don't use that joke anymore. Other when that joke literally became a joke.
many bought in for whatever reason, and boy did they get what they paid for. After years of delays and possible plagiarism in marketing, Fantastic delivered a game that ran about as well as a paper shredder chewing through bottles of glue. Inconsistent
Yep, that's one of the things. Yep.
frame rates, buggy character models, frequent pop-ins, a city with absolutely nothing to do in it, and
Yeah, I think I recall the Division being said it has nothing to do in that city. It looks like that.
it all chalked up to a game worse than
But looking at
anything
this-
that came out in 2023. The day before generated virtually nothing in revenue. Fantastic closed 4 days after the game launched, and the game was delisted without notice until after the fact.
I don't usually believe in miracles.
Anthem.
Admit it. You still need me.
Need you. I don't need anyone.
This is one of those games with a thumbnail.
Behind Anthem's hype, we have to wonder. It was first announced with nothing more than concept art and talks about how amazing the story was going to be. Whatever gameplay was shown was heavily fabricated with overt cinematic moments and unrealistic comps between players. And all the gaming press
Fort
could talk about
Tarsonis?
was how
Fort
great the
Tarsus.
flying is.
Yeah, okay, yeah, look, okay. This is a game where I actually did enjoy it. I enjoyed just flying around the area in my javelin. That's what they call the Iron Man suit, basically. I had my Storm Javelin, then I had the Colossus, a big bulky one here with the deployable shield. I had the, of course, then I got the Interceptor, which, the slim, fast one with the blade, and then I got the basic soldier. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed using my Storm Javelin to literally bring down the lightning here. Guns are just flying around. I enjoyed where even small things like you see eventually as you build up, Fort Tarsonis got renovated a bit more. Could have been doing a lot more. I got this game and I enjoyed it. It's actually one of the reasons why I came back to turn on my Xbox, my X1X. The true reason why I stopped playing this game is generally because I stopped paying for Xbox Live. I couldn't do it. I couldn't continue on, and I was predominantly a PlayStation 4. This was a BioWare game, so I got it for, and I recognized BioWare more with Xbox, so yeah. And good thing I did, because I have heard that this game caused some PS4 consoles to brick. I'm actually looking forward to Anthem 2.0.
Super Mario 64 had flying way back in 1996. What did Anthem bring to the table 23 years later? Mundane shooting, bland environments, a forgettable story, a painful grind to reach the end game, and for many, a game that bricked consoles and PCs. Worth it?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Patience is my middle name.
You know, I'm not looking to replace you.
Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah. The collector's edition was pretty cool. The statue of Captain America. People pissed off that the Avengers look nothing like their MCU counterpart. That always struck me as stupid to complain, because can you imagine that? Oh god, that game would have been worse. The game literally would have been far worse, because they would have to spend like spend more money on getting likeness rights for those like the actors. I mean, oh wow. But story-wise, I didn't mind it. I was okay. I was okay with the story here but it didn't make much sense how the Avengers were instantly like hated that quickly. But the whole thing with AIM, the rise of the Inhumans. But of course, after I completed the main story, I never returned to this game. Wasn't really interested here. I know at the most I did was Spider-Man. So I thought I'd check out, okay, how is he like? How is he like in the game? And so far, pretty cool. And again, we got a helicarrier, which I like how you can, again, I don't know, I like it when you have a home base and it starts out like dilapidated and stuff like that here, and as you slowly like progress up, it gets fixed up, it gets better, it's the same thing with like Montergione in Assassin's Creed 2. I just like doing that here, like proving things. The homestead missions and so on and so forth, so... And I think one of the main things I also liked is that, well, sometimes I like to have control in how I decorate my like home area, and sometimes I like the game to just do it for myself. Like,
This should have been such a comically easy win for Square Enix. What you had was one of the biggest Japanese companies in gaming publishing a Marvel game. The money was there, and developer Crystal Dynamics was coming off the success of the Tomb Raider reboot. But Square Enix had to go and order their studio to make Marvel's Avengers a live service game littered with power levels, grinding for loot and experience, and a combat system that is nothing but constant button mashing as you wait for cooldowns on powers. And the more it was shown during marketing, the worse it looked. Sure enough, the skepticism became completely justified. No one wants to play a game where the Avengers are spending more time opening chests than they are fighting baddies. Square Enix would lose more than $60 million. It would sell off Crystal Dynamics to Embracer Group in 2022, along with the Tomb Raider IP. Marvel...
Yeah. Square Enix had, I don't know, they had such unrealistic expectations here. Like, again, this guy praised the Tomb Raider success of the Tomb Raider games. I like the rebooted games, but Square thought they would make, I don't know, double or triple what they ended up making it, and that's just, it just shows that, look, they're great for the Japanese, but because they are Japanese, they understand. They got their finger on the pulse of that market like thoroughly. They can tell the pulse without putting their finger on their neck. Like, they can just see it and voila, and they know. But they don't get the Western market or anything like that. And in fun fact, apparently Square Enix did do the game Supreme Commander 2, and I heard bad things about it. Like, wow. I don't know. But as well, live service, this is so this was still when the live service trend was still very much at its peak, early at its peak. And still is technically here. It's like, I mean, it's fading down right about now, but still.
Avengers shut down in September 2023, and it will not be missed.
Doesn't matter.
The Order 1886.
Okay. This was the other game that was on the thumbnail, and yeah, I played this game. Looking back at it, I still remember, the ending. It felt fun, the ending there, especially with the whole sequel bait ending. That's the worst thing you could do. Looking back, looking at how the game was, it was a linear experience. And my God, I miss that. I miss the day. I miss linear games here. It was like you play a few hours here and there, like go to and fro. It felt I had a desire to replay it every so often. It also was this on the negative side. It was pretty to look at. It was basically like another tech demo for I guess the PlayStation 4 Pro at the time. I mean, I don't know, because we had Killzone Shadowfall, which was like a tech demo for the PS4, and then this game came out, which the graphic wise, the character animation, it still holds up nicely. The scenery, I know that. I still remember that. It's still iconic. And it was a sign of just what the amount of money games will spend. Just on like the textures on the clothes, the wrinkles on one's forehead, and the hairs, and the gray, some gray on one's beard and mustache. Oh boy. All that money rather than, yeah. It was still a solid game. It was still a solid gameplay and everything like that. And again, I can appreciate it a lot more with the rise, with like how we're inundated with open world and multiple pathways, multiple endings, and just hours upon hours of long game here. This was a very simple third-person shooter, linear game, and I miss those.
Ah, finally, the first big release to show why we all bought PlayStation 4s in the first place, right? Right? Knack certainly wasn't cutting it, but the Order 1886 looked so good, you guys.
Yep.
Right?
Like a movie.
Well, what happens when you get people hyped over trailers that are mostly composed
And the
of
QuickTime events.
You get the reception to the Order 1886. So many folks were upset that their cutscene-heavy shooter was only a few hours long and nothing more than shooting galleries and QuickTime events. And to make matters worse, the whole game ends just when things are about to get good.
Yeah.
That shows what you should expect when gameplay isn't shown off too much. That was a hard listen for many of us.
At the same time, I would like, at this point, I'd still like a sequel. I like a sequel, just keep it linear. That's all I say. Keep it linear. Like the things he said right now, it's like, I appreciate those more today than I did back in like 2015 or so. How times change.
Without me, I'll find another way through.
Which hyped game do you feel soiled your experience the most? Did it make our list?
You ready to play? I'm ready.
Aw.
Let it.
I mean, yeah, a couple of games, obviously. Marvel, Spider-Man, I had no problem with Anthem. Suicide Squad. Like, well, no one believed the hype on that game, so. I mean, if I was to decide, yeah, I'll go with Marvel's Avengers. Yeah, they were. It had an interesting story. I did kind of like the whole thing with Kamala. The whole thing where AIM eventually took over and such, and how technically Bruce Banner. Yeah, I could almost see that happening, like, cause self-loathing there. Without Captain America either. But the Order 1886, that's the one where I'm like, opinion has changed with age here. It's like the ending of course was still, but I'll play this a bunch of times just to try out the new weapons and just look for everything here, try to new moves, stuff like that, whatever I can. Try to beat this game entirely without drinking the dark water or just going in there with just one weapon. I will play the game over and over again just for that here. Over a lot. Just because of the sense of, alright, so short and sweet. Linear game, you just go down the path. I miss those. It makes me wish I could find my copy of Bulletstorm on the 360. It's gotta be somewhere. I take good care of all those things, so you couldn't have lost it. Alright, everyone, thanks for watching. Which game disappointed you? Which game did you actually buy the hype for, and when you finally got it, or you finally saw it, it's like, meh. Do you like didn't bother getting it? Buyer's regret? Tell me in the comments down below. As always, it's Mecha-san. I'll see you guys in the next one.